was a short-term trader. That's the Trading Group Show, Saturdays at 4 p.m.
The ultimate Christmas tradition is heading home for the holidays. Don't miss Moscow Ballet's digital stream premiere of The Great Russian Nutcracker, Saturday, December 19th. Enjoy the full-length performance of Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker as captured on stage. Save 15% on tickets today with promo code HEART. That's HEART at MoscowBallet.com. Get up close with online meet and greets and party packages at MoscowBallet.com.
The weather meter is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where this is the last week to save thousands during Beard's Diamonds' 40th anniversary sale.
Now, weather and traffic from 104.5 WKV. Jacksonville's news and talk.
I'm actually Jack's checking here out the just 21st record in the record temperatures as we head through Thanksgiving in the full look forecast in less than 10 minutes.
Drivers leaving downtown on I-95 northbound, they're crashing off where the was taking out the left lane is temporarily taking out all lanes. We're speeding by over on the right shoulder right now. It's adding about 12 minutes to your drive up to the north side. This course brought to you by Merrill. With Merrill Guided Investing, you have the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Chances are at MerrillEdge.com/investinggoals. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Benner Smith Incorporated. Both registered for broker dealer and investment advisor. Member SIPC. Good safe security, personal or traffic. I'm Brian.
Hey, Alexa.
Is the last week to save thousands.
Feels like I've known you my whole life. I can see right through your eyes. I don't know where we're going, but I like to be by your side. If you could tell me how, maybe we get this undefeated.
The president pardons a turkey. What do you think that turkey goes on to do with his life? You think he gets himself together and then goes to law school or something? I don't know. I never heard anything about